Welcome, I hope you've been well. Thank you for joining me. The timestamps are in the description box. Let's jump in. Story number 1. Opie writes, I am absolutely devastated. I've been with my wife now for 10 years, married for 3. We have an amazing 8-year-old girl and just had another baby. On my way home from picking up my daughter from a friend's pool party, my wife accidentally sent me a screenshot of her FaceTime with another man. I instantly recognized him. When I got home, I confronted her. She explained it was an Instagram pocket dial and she instantly hung up out of embarrassment and took a screenshot in the process. This was all a lie. I debunked this. After questioning her, come to find out she was FaceTiming this guy and effed up by sending me that picture entirely. She's been talking with this guy, who is also married, for around 11 months. So I contacted his wife and let her know my wife and her husband have been hiding their conversations from us. After talking more with his wife, she discovered he was getting a hotel room down the street from our house all the time. She pulled this info up on the Marriott Points account. I called him and got him to come clean. He has been effing my wife for months at a hotel during the day. My wife would drop off my daughter at school, go meet with him, then come home and act like nothing happened. I've since confronted her and she's trying to get me to stay. The worst part is, our newborn baby may not be mine. They have been having sex throughout her entire pregnancy. I got a paternity test today and should know by Friday the outcome. I don't want to divorce my wife, but she has absolutely broken my heart and ruined this family. My oldest daughter has no idea, and I don't plan on telling her so they can keep a healthy relationship. My wife has never cheated before. I treat her like a queen and we are happy and love our relationship. Or so I thought. If she had never sent me that screenshot by mistake, I'd have never known. The worst part is I have no idea why she would ruin our family and marriage. I give her my all. I work my ass off for her and the girls. I'm broken. Update. Baby is mine. Well, about 5 months later, Opie has this update. Hey Reddit family, first off, thank you to everyone who reached out to check on me over these very painful months. I never knew how amazing complete strangers could be. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you all. So on this last September 19, my oldest daughter's birthday, I found out my wife had been cheating on me while pregnant with our now 11-month-old. That I know of, who was born 6 days before my oldest birthday. Now, when I found out, obviously it was a complete disaster. My life came to a screeching halt and I became very depressed. I had no idea what I was going to do or how I was going to make my way out of this mess. I contemplated staying in the marriage because we have an 8-year-old and a newborn baby. I couldn't move out of the house right away because of our newborn. So for the first month or 2, we stayed under the same roof. This obviously didn't work, so we separated. When I was home with the girls, she was not to be there and vice versa. This worked for a brief moment in time, until she started refusing to leave. I then realized that in order for me to be a good dad, I needed to leave her and file for divorce. So I did just that. I divorced her narcissistic ass. Now the mediation went terribly. I lost just about everything. So now I'm starting over from scratch as a single dad. And I can't tell you how freeing it really is to be away from someone so toxic. She still tries to make my life a living hell weekly. Whether it's cancelling time she'll watch the girls during my work days. She still doesn't work, so instead of sending them to daycare, they stay with her during my work hours. Or making false accusations, gaslighting tactics, narcissistic behavior. It's endless. As of last week, I requested that we use some kind of app for communication between her and I. I also bought my oldest daughter a phone for texting/calling me and her mom when she needs to talk to us. Again, to limit my communication with my ex. As far as I know, she is not communicating with her affair partner. The affair partner's wife divorced him and is now engaged to somebody else already. I'm still praying I run into him at some point, but that is yet to happen, probably for the better. But my ex is still not working, 5th year in a row, living off alimony and child support. Her free time is spent making sympathy TikToks, looking for attention, painting a false narrative to hundreds of strangers in hopes that she doesn't look like the monster that she is. My oldest daughter is doing good. She still struggles with the fact we're divorced, but she does know it's not my fault. Before separating, we told her it was her mom's fault. My youngest daughter and I have now built a very strong bond. As I told some of you, it was very hard for me at first because I didn't really know if she was mine, but she was also part of the affair, unfortunately. That was the hardest part for me, not being able to bond with my daughter, because all I could think about was my wife being pregnant with her while cheating on me in a trucker motel room. I hope in the future that it gets better. Right now, I'm in the stage of dealing with a true narcissist trying to cut me down at any chance she gets. Well, OP, I'm glad that you know for a fact that your youngest is in fact your daughter and that you have bonded with her even though at the beginning it was hard for you. And you say she was part of the affair. Well, yes, she was there technically, but, it's not as though your daughter was agreeing to this. Anyway, I'm just glad that you are doing well with your daughter at the moment, OP. The truth really always comes out, and this was the time for the truth to come out when you got that screenshot of your wife FaceTiming another man. And I have to say it's a bit strange that his now ex-wife got engaged so quickly after the divorce. I don't know, it just makes me wonder if there's maybe more to their story than you know, OP, but it doesn't really matter. The important thing is that you get your life back on track. The one thing I don't agree with is telling an 8-year-old that it's her mother's fault that the divorce happened. Children that young shouldn't know these things, and I'm not saying hide it from them forever, but 8 really is too young. But OP, good luck to you, and I really do think that your future will indeed get better. And on we go to story number 2. OP writes, my fiancé, 36 male, and I, 34 female, are getting married in 3 weeks, and for the most part, planning has been simple and easy. We're having a smallish wedding in a local hotel with 50 guests. The ceremony, the dinner, and the reception are all taking place in the one hotel. My fiancé and I decided early on that we wanted the reception to be child-free. Children are welcome at the ceremony and the early dinner we're having, but not for the party afterwards. I myself have a 10-year-old son who will be there for the ceremony and meal, but not the reception. The issue is with my fiancé's sister, Lisa, 38 female. She has a daughter, Chloe, 11 female, and has started insisting that Chloe be at the reception. Lisa is the only girl in a family of 5 children, and due to this, she has rarely been told no, even into adulthood. My fiancé and I have been firm on the stance that no children would be allowed in the reception, and she is fully aware of the on-site childcare. We have booked a separate room in the hotel especially for this purpose. However, she is adamant that Chloe stay with her. If it was just me and my fiancé, it wouldn't be too much of a big deal. We can handle her. However, she has begun hounding my future mother-in-law, whom I get on with really well, and has even begun messaging my mother on Facebook to try and get them to convince the two of us to let Chloe be at the reception. This is not okay with me or with my fiancé. Neither one of our mothers are in the best of health, and they don't need the stress. She either doesn't realize or doesn't care that if we allow her daughter to attend the reception, we have to allow all the children to attend, and we wanted to allow the parents to have a fun time in the evening. Even my son isn't going to be at the reception. We don't see them often. However, last Sunday, we were all at my future in-laws for lunch, and so the kids could see each other, and she decided to bring it up. She decided it would be a good idea to try and corner me in the kitchen to try and change my mind. Once again, I reiterated that there would be no children at the reception, and well, this didn't go down well. I swear she was close to throwing a grown-up tantrum. I've never seen anything like it before. I just told her that the little ones in the other room were better behaved than she was, and to grow the heck up, and walked around her back to the others. Her tantrum didn't stop. After this scene, my future mother-in-law asked if we would be willing to bend the rules we have for the reception for Lisa, but the two of us were still firm on the no. Usually I would just stick it out and not care, and if she hadn't started getting other family members involved. But now that she has, it's beginning to stress me out. I don't think we're being unreasonable with our request for no children at the reception, but I don't know if I can handle this for another 3 weeks. Am I the a-hole for sticking to our child-free reception rule? And here's Sophie's update. Firstly, I want to thank everyone for their insights and advice, and I've had a couple of requests for an update, so here it is. We got married last Saturday and everything went perfectly. Everyone and everything was where it was supposed to be, when it was supposed to be, and if there were any issues, I didn't hear about it. My older sister arrived a week and a half before the wedding, and she's like a miniature tornado when she gets going. She firmly told me not to worry about Lisa and that she would deal with her. I had no doubt about that. Lisa brought up Chloe coming to the reception once again the day after I posted, and my husband, I love seeing that, and I told her that if she tried to bring Chloe in, the both of them would be removed. We didn't hear anything more from Lisa following that instance. A few people wondered what Chloe thought about it, and she told us that she thinks adults are boring and she'd rather spend time with her cousins and other kids. So there's that. When my older brothers turned up a few days before the wedding, all of them were laughing about how my sister was doing her guard dog routine with Lisa and wasn't letting her anywhere near either of us or our mothers. My sister is a tiny 4'11" and petite, but a powerhouse behind it. It turned out that my sister was the one keeping her at bay, and you can bet she got a very large bottle of wine in thanks. For my husband and I, the day was as close to perfect as it could get. We only found out 2 days later that Lisa had tried to sneak Chloe into the reception and had been intercepted by all of my siblings. I have 6. Well before reaching the hall, and had been told that she could either send Chloe upstairs with the other kids or they could both leave the event completely, knowing it would make her look bad and she'd never hear the end of it from her family. Lisa sent Chloe upstairs and has been sulking since. There have been a few passive-aggressive Facebook posts, which no one seems to care about, but that's about it. So no epic temper tantrum, no forceful removals of irate sisters, just some words from my terrifying sister, and that was that. Everyone had a good time, and when we went to check on them later, all the kids were passed out in positions that gave me aches and pains just from looking at them. So we know they had fun. I want to thank everyone again for their insight. It was very helpful and set me at ease that we weren't in the wrong for sticking with our rule. Opie, I'm glad your wedding went well and that Lisa didn't get her way and that the adults got to have their party. The kids, they were there for the ceremony, they were there for the dinner, so it's nice that afterwards they had an hotel room for themselves while the adults went ahead and had their party. And as Chloe told you herself, she wanted to be with her cousins and the other kids. And looking back at my own childhood, that's what we also wanted at weddings. It was nice to hang out with everybody and see the family. But as kids, we like to stick together and do our own thing, rather than hang around with adults the entire evening. So yes, I think Lisa was just being a brat. Story number 3. Opie writes, I, 24 female, am very insecure about my looks due to bullying. My current job is stable and very well paid. So recently I have decided that maybe it is time to act on that and fix the parts of me that ruin my entire looks. My nose is very big and aquiline, so I think it's the better place to start. If it goes well, I am thinking about getting my cheeks removed. They are very round, almost like a baby, and maybe getting rid of some of my freckles. I have asked my local plastic surgery for information about what kind of nose job would fit my face better, and they gave a budget. The same afternoon, I told my boyfriend about all of this and asked him to help me choose a date for the surgery so he can go with me. He looked at me like I had just killed someone, got upset and told me that he, quote, is not going to be a part of this, unquote, and refuses to know anything else about my surgery. He isn't really talking to me. He just says that I'm making his girl disappear forever. I haven't chosen a date yet. I don't think I will be able to do this without him. I have started having doubts about whether or not to get the nose job, and I don't know how to fix things with my boyfriend. What should I do? Well, here's Opie's update. So, over the last few days, I have been thinking a lot about this, and I have had a serious talk with my boyfriend. By thinking, I realized that I don't want the surgeries for myself, rather than to please strangers and have them accept me. These are not good reasons to permanently alter your face. In addition, surgery scares the heck out of me. To sum up, I won't go under the knife. As soon as I can, I will try to speak to a therapist about my self-esteem issues. I feel a little sad because it means that I will always have a weird face and many people will judge me and reject me. But I don't want to lose myself and I don't want to risk losing my boyfriend. I then talked with him and made sure he knows that I understand why he reacted like he did and thanked him for helping me to see the truth. He was happy to know that I wasn't having surgery. He took my face in his hands and spent 5 solid minutes kissing my nose and my cheeks. He asked me not to do contouring on my nose, nor getting my hair on my face with the purpose of hiding anything. Well, Opie, I think it's a good idea that you're going to see a therapist and discuss your self-esteem issues. It's also wonderful that your boyfriend loves your face as it is. But that said, Opie, at the end of the day, you are the only one that can make that decision. There is nothing wrong with plastic surgery if there is something about your face that makes you feel very insecure about yourself. The problem comes in when you have people that go over the top. They change so much about themselves that they remove everything that was charming about their face, that was unique about it. And that's also when you run the risk of having this generic look. And we all know what this look is, the same nose. A lot of people walking around with the same nose. But anyway, OP, what I'm saying is if you have no surgery done to your face and you're happy with it, that's wonderful. If you do decide that there are some things you want to change, that's your choice, that's your decision. But maybe you want to leave those freckles alone. A lot of people find freckles really, really charming. Well, that's it for this edition. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I really appreciate it. Please hit the notification bell so that you'll know when I upload new videos. If you did like it, please consider giving it a thumbs up and maybe subscribing. Leave me a comment and we'll see each other again very soon. Bye.